Aloha. I hope you can hear me. Hi there. Right. So I hope the sound is okay. Right. So I hope the sound is okay. Right. So hello everyone. Whenever you get to watch this, my name is Sarah. First time doing this on YouTube, and I hope this will not be the last time. So my reason for coming here is simply because some people were asking about the goal setting that we recently did. We did this in our group and we shared it on different platforms as well. And as such, some people were asking if we could actually break down how to go deeper into the goal setting for 2025 so that we can achieve our goals. So, and one of the things that came up was how to get extra time to achieve those goals. And this I come across very, very often. So if this is one of the things that you struggle with, creating time and managing your time, this is the place you need to be. My name is Sarah being nice, and I'll take you through some quick steps. I'm the founder of Ambition Aligned Community, where we hold weekly, monthly sessions and go through different aspects of life, especially for entrepreneurs and anyone that is maybe starting up or wanting to start something. So this is an impromptu. I didn't plan to do this, and I thought, yeah, why not? So claim your time back. What you should do and what you shouldn't do. I've got like five pointers that I would like us to look into, and I believe by the end of this you'll be able to, putting everything together, you'll be able to actually structure your own plan that works for you in a way that you don't feel stretched or you don't feel overwhelmed because you feel like you don't have time. All right, so I don't know about you, but for such a long time I used to go through this this mindset of I don't have enough time, or oh my gosh, time flies. And many of us say that. We say that January is the longest month, but after January, we always say, we tend to go like, oh, time flies. Look, it's already mid-year. Or look, it's almost Christmas. Or look, it's such and such. And I believe the reason we say that is simply because we get to a certain time, we feel like we haven't achieved the things that we thought we would have achieved by that time. And as that happens, we sort of look back and go like, oh my gosh, time flies. And that is usually for someone who hasn't achieved the goals they initially intended to achieve. And yet for someone who is actually crushing it and doing their thing, you will not hear that, because one, they're not even, they are in the zone, so they're not even worried about what time is happening, what time is doing with itself. They are doing their thing. So we have the time flies, or others have the I wish I could do this, which is one of the things that stood up for me this time round. Many people saying that they wish they could do certain things, but then again, they find that they don't have time to do these things. And the other one was, oh, if I had time, I could do that. Or if I had time, I would go such and such a place, or I would accomplish this, or I would do that. And when we tell ourselves this, in a way, we put ourselves in a mindset of, the fact that I don't have time, I won't be able to do this. We've already given in. We've already submitted to the idea that we have. And the question is, how can some people actually do all those things that we wish we could do, and many a times without even help, and actually achieve the goals that they set out to do, and yet others don't, and yet we all have 24 hours in a day. So this is why I'm here today, and I'm excited. I'm really excited because it's the topic that has ignited many people's has ignited many people and inspired many to do at least something in the first few months of this year. So Yeah, I've got a question for you, and this is a question I used to ask myself. I had to ask myself at one point in time that, okay, fine, if I want to change things, if I want to include, say, meditation at the time, I wanted to start meditating, but then I used to go like, I don't have time to meditate. I don't have time to meditate in the morning, 10 minutes. I don't have 10 minutes in the evening. And the question was, when am I going to get that time to be able to do that, whether it's meditation, prayer, or reading a chapter from a book, right? So, and I remember going to a seminar, and at this seminar, it was said that it was actually Tony Robbins. He said, if you don't have 10 minutes to meditate, that is when you should meditate, because it means your life is off balance completely. And that stuck with me. And each time I find myself rushing and telling myself, I cannot afford to sit down for 10 minutes to just look after myself or to read a chapter in a book. Actually, I need like 30 minutes. The minute I feel that pressured, that's when I'm going to stop and do something. So I'd like to invite you to think of that thing that you wish you could do, but then you don't do. That thing you know very well that if you did it, it would sort of move the needle for you in 2025. And if you didn't do it, what pain would it leave behind? So that's the first thing I would like you to look at, and this is going to actually bring out those feelings, those emotions, those things that we're kind of avoiding, such as oh gosh, I don't want to think of the pain or the discomfort. There's the discomfort of not achieving those goals. So because we do not want to feel that discomfort, we end up sort of avoiding these things. But I would like you to actually invite these things to the table, invite them to your forefront, and talk to yourself, talk to them, and go like, work them out. What is it that I would like to do? What is it that I'm avoiding doing, and how would I feel if I didn't do it in 4, 6 months or 10 months time, or by the end of the year? And once you bring those things to the forefront, I would like you to also look at to take accountability, because at the end of the day, nobody's going to give us extra time, and nobody's going to do these things for us. The same way they say nobody's going to do the lifts for us in the gym, we have to do it ourselves. It's the same way that nobody's going to do our goals for us. We have to do them ourselves. So the things that we want to do, you will find that many times we spend a lot of time actually running away from them and doing something else instead. And I'll give you an example. One of the things that eats up most of our time is social media. Yeah. So when it comes to social media, I believe that the biggest percentage of us is guilty. And we're guilty because we get that instant pleasure. We get that instant, we're able to run away from whatever is going on and sort of bury our heads in the sand by looking at something that is happening elsewhere, whether it's positive or negative. At least it takes us away from our real lives. But the thing is, the more we run away from that, the more discomfort we're going to feel, and the more unfulfilled we are going to feel. So I would like to invite us to actually look at how much time we spend on social media, how much time we spend browsing without looking at anything in particular, and how much time we spend on statuses. Like we run from from say a green button WhatsApp, and then we go to another platform, check the stories, go to another platform, check, and then we also check the comments, which we all like, which we like to read other people's comments and see what their thinking process looks like. So the question is, how much of our time do we spend doing that, yet we claim not to have 10 minutes, 20, 30 minutes for ourselves, 20, 30 minutes to start something new, or to include or to introduce a new routine in our lives, right? So if you can jot that down, how much time you do spend on social media. And I bet you most of us do not know how much time we do spend on social media, unless if we took an audit of ourselves. If we had an audit and decided, okay, and I'm going to sit down and I'm going to work out exactly how much time I use on social media. And I would like to give you an example based on my personal experience, whereby I sat down one day, this is a few years ago, I sat down one day and went like, okay, I need to audit. Really, I really need to get some extra time in my life. I don't have any extra time. How am I going to create this time? And believe it or not, I managed to come up with 3 extra hours a day. 3 hours that I could actually do so much out of. But before that, prior to that, I thought I didn't have time. So it so happened that I realized I sat down, like for a couple of days, I would literally time myself on how long I spent on the green app, how long I spent on the blue app, and all the other apps. And I would literally time myself, like I would do whatever I had to do, and then I would get like 5 minutes break, and then I tap into something, check real quick, and go out of it. And if I saw, say, for example, a message that required me to respond, or any message, most cases requires you to respond, I would ignore that for the time being until when I created, like, I took a 20-minute break, maybe for coffee, and then I would use that time to actually read a message and then respond. And in these 2 days, once I realized that I could actually create time, that's when I started to strip back and remove what I didn't need, and then introduced what I wanted. Like, I streamlined my life. And this is where I would like you to come in and look at the things that you do that are not necessary, that don't bring they don't bring you joy, they don't bring you fulfillment, they don't bring anything. But then, apart from being able to escape from the things, being able to escape from our lives, and being able to get to a different place that's not ours. So if you can audit yourself, like the next 2 days, I would say, audit yourself from the minute you wake up, everything you do, and each time you pick up that smartphone to check something, make sure that you're aware of how much time you're spending there. And if you can, time yourself, actually set an alarm that I'm going to spend 10 minutes on this app. And the minute that alarm goes off, boom, you go off. So when you do that, you realize that, one, you bring discipline into your life. But at the same time, you also get in control of time, instead of time being the controller of your life, right? I hope I said that right. So instead of time controlling you, you'll be controlling time. Instead of apps controlling you, you'll be controlling them. Instead of any of these social apps and or the distractions controlling you, you'll be controlling yourself. So that's the second thing. The third thing, sometimes they say, well, many times they say, for us to be able to do something, we need to have a why. We need to have a good why. And once we have a good why, a big why, we're going to be able to move forward, because that why is going to pull us. So the question is, what is your why? What is your why for creating more time? And I'll give you a few examples, a few prompts, so that perhaps you will maybe get something to drive you into going for creating extra time. And a few whys could involve maybe writing a book. A few whys could involve starting a new career, or studying for something else that you want to change to, or actually running, or introducing a new routine, or like reading, or doing something. There's so many things that we always want to do. There's so many things that human beings, we're always evolving, we're always progressing, and we want to feel like we are doing something different or progressive every year. And at the end of the year, we want to be able to look back and feel like, I have done this much this year, I've achieved this much this year, and this is simply because I managed to create for that. So what is your why? Maybe you want to spend more time with your children, but you don't have the time because you're so busy, you're too busy throughout the day, and the weekend you're so tired that you have to rest. So that why is what is going to drive you to actually to create that discipline around you. And the next one is the impact of wasted time. So think of every time you waste, every minute you waste, there is something you lose. If it was tangible, if we had it like, if we saw it on a scale that every time I spend time scrolling such and such, I lose on this side of the scale, I lose this. If we're able to do that, perhaps we'll be able to to um, to structure our lives in a way that benefited us and created more time in our lives. So, what is the impact of your wasted time? And I'll give another example. The impact could be that if the more time I waste doing such and such, means that I don't get to exercise, and that means that the impact is I feel lazy, I don't have vitality, I feel fatigue all the time, or I gain extra few pounds or kilos. So what is the impact of that wasted time? So the next one is we talked about auditing our time, and the next one is now creating the structure. By creating a structure, we have to actually decide on what is most important to us. And I don't know about you, but many creatives would feel more in the zone in the morning, right? And if you are a creative, which I believe every one of us is in different areas of our lives, if you are a creative, you'll find that if you spend more time in the morning, if you structured your day in such a way that you did certain things in the morning, it would mean that you're going to move a lot faster, because then in the afternoon you can do the less interesting things. And I'll give an example. If, say, for example, many of us use social media, or we want to write, or we want to make videos, or we want to do different things, anything that falls in that category. You wake up in the morning, first thing in the morning, you write down a list, or you have a list of what you need to do. And if you don't know how to plan, to create your weekly plan and everything, I did an episode recently which you can find on different platforms, that talks about planning and how to plan and structure your day. And you can do that. You can either listen to that and give you an idea. So you will wake up in the morning, you have your day or week planned out already. And first thing you do is, what am I going to do today? I'm doing such and such and such. Okay, which one of all these tasks requires extra time, extra energy, and more focus? Yeah, it's going to, it's creating an article, writing an article, creating a video. Okay, I'm going to start with that. I'm going to give that, you block out the time, I'm going to give that this much time today or in the morning. And then you're going to set these blocks of things that you want to do until maybe midday, lunchtime, or whenever you choose to, or when your energy starts dropping. And then that's when you start going into the messages and responding to messages and emails and whichever works for you. In my case, I respond to emails I'm very prompt on emails, but even then I have a time. I'll know, like, okay, such and such time I'll check. Every time I get a little break, I can check my emails, and then I can respond to some. And when it comes to messages, I take longer to check them, because most times they're personal, they're friends, they're family, and that sort of thing. So they require they require a different angle. They require a different me, as opposed to the serious and business-like thing. So those, I'm going to give a different slot, not even slot. I'm going to look at a time when I'm less busy to check those and respond to. And then I look at checking random videos and the rest of it on the social platforms at a much later time, because then my brain is beginning to feel tired and I want to know what's happening in the world. And at the same time, I just need some sort of stimulation before the end of the day, or maybe in the evening as I'm making dinner, as I'm maybe washing my hair or doing something. So I'll listen to that, and then maybe I'll check a few comments and see what's happening. And that way I feel I'm in a more relaxed mode, but at the same time, it's not taking away any of my time, because I'll be doing something at the same time. So that is the create respond mode. If you can tap into that, it is great and it works wonders. And it also helps us to structure our lives. And finally, we have before you start everything, I would suggest you eliminate anything that is going to distract you. So many times you find that maybe you're expecting a delivery, and maybe if you can check if that delivery is about to come in, so that then you can receive it and start your day. And the reason for this, it sounds minute, right? But if you don't do it, the minute you start working on something and you build momentum and you get in the zone, and then a distraction happens, you find, and this is a known fact, this is scientifically proven, that when we get back to that thing, we will lose at least 20 minutes time to be able to build back into to the levels that we are at. That to build momentum, you're going to require at least 20 minutes to get to that level. So the question is, what are those things that are going to distract you, that might distract you, that you need to eliminate, get it out of the way, and then you focus on your day. And the final one is planning, planning, planning. Plan everything, everything and anything. I tell you what, without a plan, you're going to be all over the place. If you have to call 10 people, write them down and go like, okay, I'll call this person, then I'll call this person, and like plan that aspect, because then when you get on that phone, you're going to make those calls back to back to back, and you're going to be in that same energy, that same zone of making phone calls. And when you finish with that, you're going to tap into something else. That's it. So a quick recap, we've looked at streamlining your time. First of all, auditing your time, how many hours you lose a day through social media, and that is one of the biggest culprit. And the second one is what is the impact? No. Why do you need to claim your time back? That is very important, your why. And the third one is the impact of wasted time. What impact does wasted time have on you? And the fourth one is the create response mode. And number 5 is to eliminate distractions. Eliminate distractions. And the bonus one was obviously planning. All of this falls into planning and management. Without managing your time, you're going to struggle to manage anything outside of yourself, outside of your time, anything that is surrounding you. So that being said, I hope you like this. If you have questions, drop them in the comment section. If you're here for the first time, like, subscribe. And I intend to come back with more of the same. And if you want me to talk about goal setting and you missed it, let me know. And I look forward to connecting with you hopefully very, very soon. I remain Sarah. And if you'd like to join our community, feel free to reach out or check the description box. There we have details on how you can join. And to tell a little bit about the community, we have sessions which last at least 45 to 1 hour once a month, and that is to look at different aspects of life. And we have facilitators. It's not always myself, it's always somebody different from a different walk of life. Recently had someone from who is a financial consultant, helped us to figure out how to manage our finances and everything. And we talk about different things. We have meditation, we have yoga, yogis, and we have mindset coaches. So you get a little bit of everything, so to speak. So with those few words, I'll love you and leave you, and I hope to see you again sometime soon. Until then, take care.